This next drill is only intended for people who have excessive lumbar lordosis or hyperlordosis, an excessive arch in the lumbar spine, and therefore have great difficulty achieving a neutral spine when doing lying core exercises, for example. So who have this rotation of the hips. This will help reduce that problem and bring awareness to the area so that you can learn to know where it is and how it feels when it's in a neutral position. It's not intended for people who already have an excessively flat lumbar spine or who have a neutral lumbar spine and have no difficulty doing core exercises in a neutral spine. It actually would be counterproductive. 3 demonstrations will be provided. 2 using exercise resistance bands as a setup. The first using a dipping belt, which is by far the most comfortable way of doing this because it goes across a larger area of the back. The second with more or less the same setup, but just using a single resistance band, which is a little bit narrower, perhaps a little bit less comfortable. And then the third setup for people who don't have any equipment at all, simply using the hands placed behind the back and pressing into the hands. So in this position, the belt in the small of the back, let it pull you into that hyperlordotic state, and then without really shifting anything in the upper part of the body, neck stays relaxed, back of the head on the ground, upper back stays on the ground, just using the tilt of the pelvis to flatten the back. So same thing here, letting the band pull you in to that hyperlordotic state. Keep head on the ground, upper back on the ground, buttocks on the ground, and just using the contraction, the core muscles, the abdomen here, rotation in the hips to flatten that back. So I'll take my hands away, make it clearer to see. But when performing the exercise, just keep the hands relaxed, arms down by the sides. Hands in the small of your back, your lumbar spine, focus on pushing your back into your hands. Try and keep everything else relaxed. Keep your upper back and your neck on the ground while you do this, and keep the ribs low. Once you can do that and get some pressure, practice really engaging the core, bracing the core muscles around the abdomen, and one leg at a time, just lifting it up, leg bent. The amount of pressure you're exerting on your fingers on each side should remain the same throughout. In fact, this exercise is a great way of determining how ready you are to use a more straight-legged leg raise. So, for example, the point at which you find that pressure is either getting stronger or weaker on your fingers is the point where you need to stop. Be that one-legged or 2 legs.